remember. I think you started off on the second floor of the Mage's Tower, where you subsequently encountered a broom, which Greta sort of forced to be her friend, and now she has I think it's a lightning broom or a thunder broom, or one of those things.
Yeah.
Sounds like something that could be out of Harry Potter. You went into the kitchen and you got attacked by a fire elemental and some animated stoves. Before going up to the next level, which was a lot nicer. It was much better decorated, kind of figure in the servants' quarters before. And you encountered a pile of rubble on the stairs. So you couldn't go up that way. You had a bit of a task trying to open all the students' doors, which had their own little associated puzzle and different locks. You encountered the keeper of the library, who guarded the books.
That's so bad.
And then, as Rill was exploring the room with the collapsed ceiling, you would have been ambushed by a Maledicti who seemed quite unhinged. She sort of dove around a little bit, taking little bits off you, but quickly realised maybe she can't take you all at once at full health. And subsequently escaped back up and teleporting up to the next level. You decided to camp down in this training room, where a massive fireball destroyed all the screaming mushrooms, which accidentally got summoned because of... I can't remember why. I can't remember why they're there.
Because of
Bag of beans.
Oh, the bag of beans. Yeah,
How many
because of the
beans
bag
do we
of
have
beans.
left?
I did roll it last time. How many you had?
I think it was 4, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's good. Yeah. And then he proceeded up to the next level. So he actually got quite a lot done. Where you discovered a very fancy room, which had a vault door. When you tried to pick the vault door, huge gush of lightning streamed out, damaging everyone, and you fought off a lightning elemental, which was guarding this vault. And that's where we ended the session.
So we have long rested, but we were... my health is correct, isn't it? Because we took...
Yep, your health is 100% correct.
Yeah.
Because you did it right before coming up to this room.
Yeah, I remember now. I think Hannah's got a roll for Gylfie's Wheel or Woe, though. I don't know if she's done that. Can't see.
We
it in
stopped
the chat.
right after combat. So...
I think that would have been at the start of the long rest.
The aura as well.
Your aura.
Yeah, in the chat you put 9 aura rolls remaining.
Oh, is that healing?
Yeah. Aura of vitality.
Yeah. I'm lagging.
Do you want to roll it, Hannah, or shall me or Tom roll it? I think she's lagging too bad to hear.
2d6. 9 times.
Looks like probably you need it the most. Or no, you and Hepatra. Oh my god, that rolled
There
out.
they are.
Oh, some of them it's... Oh, it's 2d6. Okay.
Alright, let's just fill up from the people that are lowest.
Let's do Hepatra first.
So 11 healing to Hepatra. Then 4. How much does Hepatra need to be at full?
27.
11,
So 11.
21, 25.
So 11, 4, 10 would take you to 25. It's pretty good. We can always come back round and top up if needed. So then the next 3 can go to Rill. That's 22. Plus 2. Pretty good. And then you got 11, 9, 8 depends how Gylfi feels about healing Arrogate or prioritizing Arrogate. Because he's the next lowest, but obviously she can heal herself or heal Greta. But you got 11, 9, 8 left.
Maybe give
Pretty good rolls.
11 to Arrogate, and then 9 to Gylfi, and then Greta can just take 8.
Smart to me, but
Distribute the last little bit. Or maybe 20 to Arrogate if Gylfi doesn't want any herself. I think I do have potions I could use though.
Yeah, you've all got a fuck ton of potions.
I just don't really want to use the really good ones though, because I've got 2, but they're very strong.
Save my water elemental potion forever.
I think, because I don't think Hannah's internet is cooperating at all, so I'm going to speak on her behalf.
11 Arrogate,
I
9
think-
Gylfi, 8 Greta.
I think that makes the most sense.
Nice.
And that puts me up to 45, which is out of 54, so that's actually pretty good.
You do Arrogate, Kieran?
Did you get 11?
11.
Yeah,
You wouldn't say thanks.
and then 9 to Gylfi, I think.
I'll do that, seeing as Hannah's lagging.
She's got 2k ping, apparently. Oh.
Jeez.
So, killed this lightning elemental. The vault door still closed. You've seen Venex has exited and he's standing outside of this room. He said this room used to belong to one of the other magisters. His was next door. From there, Rill, you'd be able to see the staircase leading up is fine.
That's positive. Yeah, Rill would apologise first of all. Sorry, everyone. Probably should have checked that first.
Well, we might as well get it open now that we've triggered the trap, right?
Sometimes things like this lock themselves when the trap harder than before, but I'll give it a look. And he'll
always try the portable ram and crowbar combination.
try and investigate. That's all right, Kieran.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Almost 20. 10 total.
Rill, as you look at the store, you don't really get... The technology's old. You've never really seen anything like it on the outside world. You don't have any real insights into it. You can't even tell if there might be another trap.
Oh god. Yeah, he'd kind of swivel on his heel and turn around and just be like, "Yeah, I think maybe we should leave it. We can always come back if needed."
Greta's got like the portable ram out, like, and sort of puts it away, kind of slowly and disappointed. I was so ready.
Be plenty of doors to break down, I'm sure. Maybe we should get moving.
Yeah, Greta will follow. Oh, I shut the door behind me. That's scary.
Are these rooms all gonna be residential for Magisters, Venex?
No. This room here, this used to be my old room. That's the library down there. It's got some powerful tomes in, if you're interested. Not that I can imagine you would be. It looks at you.
Yeah. Anything we need to know about your room?
Well, I do want to have a look if some of my old effects are in there, but I can do that when you're gone. I mean, kind of just shrugs. The quicker we get to the top, the quicker I've got this place to myself, yes.
And this last one?
Part of the library, it's adjoining rooms.
Oh, okay.
And if he misbehaves, we'll lock him in his room, yeah?
Always an option.
She looks to Venex and winks at him.
His face just remains plain and hard.
Yeah.
Just looks down at you with his posture, even though it's quite frail.
Is there like paintings on the wall here, Kieran?
Yeah, they'd be of Maledicti dressed in similar robes to Venix, but they would be, as you'd notice, his are sort of royal blue robes. These have like purple embroidery on as well.
She wants to like stand in front of the pictures, looking up at them, and kind of like a lot alongside Hansel, who I imagine moves up next to her. She kind of wants like just sort of mockingly kind of imitate the poses in the portraits.
Yeah, you would notice as well, Greta, these people, although they look similar to Venix, their skin is almost like glowing. It's got like a sheen to it, which you wouldn't have recognized from anyone in the outside world either.
Yeah, she just thinks that these are a bunch of fancy dickheads who blew up the world.
And she would be quite right in that. Mostly.
Where does the one that ambushed us? Where does she live in this tower?
Oh, she stayed with the. Well, she stayed in the Archmagister's quarters. Illicit pairing and all that.
Oh, scandalous.
Not the done thing.
What is a done thing?
Dedicating yourselves to the mysteries of the universe, of course. I wouldn't expect you to understand.
I'm starting to get the impression you think I don't understand anything, mate.
You're all children compared to my race.
Well, if we're all children, then you were shit parents.
Wouldn't even call us parents.
Exactly.
Rill's like stepping slowly in here, expecting either a trap or a floating elderly man to accost him.
So, as you step in there, this library is much greater than the one found on the lower level.
Mm-hmm.
The cases are packed with tomes written in Elven. I can hear myself in the background. To an academic, this would be a great hoard.
Natalie, you
However-
gotta mute yourself while Kieran's talking.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's really off-putting.
Sorry, I don't know why it's doing that.
It's alright.
Is it still doing it?
Oh,
I don't think so. No, it's not doing it.
I think I was
Nice.
leaning in too far with my headphones, sorry.
So, to an academic, Rill, this would be a great hoard. However, if you look round at Venix, he doesn't think you'd be that interested. Though you would notice at one of a huge vault door here.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on the other side of the thing.
Round
Mhm.
2.
No, I learned my lesson. Fuck that. We're here for Gilfie's stuff.
What about this
I
door?
don't. He said more library.
Yeah, and indeed, there is more library.
What about that door? Or is that a vault?
That is also a vault door.
Oh. That means your bedroom adjoins a vault door, Venix.
That's because, well, my room also has a vault in.
Oh.
Do you know the code?
Well, it's my room, so yes.
Plenty of treasures, I imagine.
There are indeed. Which are mine.
Indeed.
I mean, it's a matter of payment, though.
Looks down at you.
What's on the next floor up?
The next floor up, it ascends quite the way, but it is the Archmagister's quarters itself.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You know that fire that came down the that hole?
Fireball, yeah.
Like, what if it was a dragon? Like Gilfie seemed to imply. How did it fit through the doors?
I have no idea.
Maybe it's not a dragon.
I'm not expecting a dragon as such, but certainly something that can breathe fire.
A baby one.
It's not something I remember in the Archmagister's repertoire, but anything's possible in this place.
They've had a lot of time to think about it. What do we reckon, crew? Are we ready to head upstairs?
Hmm.
I mean, if old Venny here's got some magic shit in his vault, then maybe we could use that to kill the twats at the top of this tower, yeah?
What do you think, Benex? Anything we can put to use? If we don't succeed, you might not have your tower back.
True, but I wasn't planning on killing the Archmagister.
They seem pretty intent on killing us. At
What
least
happens if he
his mate
doesn't?
did.
If he doesn't want to give up the packages that we're here for?
Well, it's more of a you problem, isn't it? I said I'd help you get to the top of the tower. I never said I'd help you kill the Archmagister.
Okay. I need some reassurance that you'll be a conscientious objector in the conflict at least.
If I don't take your side, I'm not going to take his side.
Okay.
If he dies, I gain. If you leave, I gain. So he kind of shrugs.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah.
Hiya! 15.
You get the impression, Real, that he doesn't like the Archmagister. But you can also tell he finds you thoroughly boring as well. So
Understandable.
you think with your thing, if he has to pick a side, probably more likely to pick your side because he's got more to gain from that. But you also kind of think that if he just saw you all dying, he might just throw out a big spell, kill everybody, and the Archmagister all in one.
Yeah, real like side-eyes him for a lengthy pause, and then just says, "Yeah, okay."
Well, we could just, smash our way into the vault and take all your stuff for ourselves.
You could do that, yes.
In theory.
But you saw what happened to the other vault door.
I did. I'm just saying.
I'll be honest, Greta, I'm thinking more about Millie.
Yeah, you'd notice Millie's not up on this level.
Yeah, I know
left
you
her in
don't.
the library, anyway.
I know you don't trust her at all, but I can't help but wonder if it would be nice to have another. But like, she's not gonna want to get. She wants to get out of here. She's not gonna want to be on the Archmagister's side.
What if
I'm
the
just thinking of
Archmagister... I don't know. What if the Archmagister offers her some kind of deal? She'd swipe it
Yeah.
in an instant.
Maybe. We're just gonna feel really stupid if it turns out there's some kind of fire protection spell in her book, and we're all lying up there, crispy as a rotisserie chicken. But you gotta trust the people on the battlefield, so.
I'd rather take my chances, I think.
Alright. This is it. People want to rest up for a little while, or a moment.
Yeah. You gonna do a short rest?
Real would like to be max HP before we go up to fight the big dangerous thing.
Greta's gonna try and intimidate Major Spenex, and two, she's just gonna not intimidate, but like just sort of say, "Oi, I want in that vault. How do I make it happen? Apart from Hansel biting your hand off."
Do an intimidation check.
She's kind of going up to him and kind of like muscling up to him.
Have some guidance as well, because I think Gilfie wants to get in there. See if there's any reckony things.
Plus a d4. 22.
He does look rather taken aback, but he replies, "If I give you something from the vault and open it, will you promise just to leave here?"
Yeah, I don't want to live here. The shithole.
Fine. He walks over to his door, pulls out a little key, unlocks it. Goes to the vault.
My Chemical Romance poster on the wall.
Yeah. Black Parade. So much like the adjacent room, the room is plush and well decorated. You see a globe slowly spinning, and as Venix sort of enters, he longingly stares at it. He goes to the vault, but as you see him gesture towards it, he's wearing a worried look.
What's the matter?
Somebody has altered this lock.
That
And
makes
he
sense.
He kind of looks around the room. And looks like someone's been sleeping in here as well.
It has been a long time.
Sort of does a big sigh.
Yeah,
Sits down on his chair.
thought it would have been dustier if they just left it for I lag out.
No, he's just not saying anything. He's just sitting
Oh.
on the chair.
Sorry.
That poor drink was literally the fucking sound when you start up Deep Rock Galactic. Boring bit of sound. It was literally the same. I genuinely thought I'd opened up the game in my background. I was like, what the
So
fuck?
funny. Well, can't you just, use your magic shit to open it?
I know what lock I've got in there. I'm not going to mess with it.
Great. Guess
You can.
She's just going to start kicking open these chests and stuff and seeing what's inside.
Right, or as you get to there, you do a perception check for me.
Yeah. $17.
Okay. Let me just do another one. For me. Where is it? Yeah. So Greta, as you go to kick this thing, you see a familiar form hiding under the bed, and she goes to grab at your foot, but you quickly tear it away, and she leaps out. Can everybody roll initiative for me, please?
Yes, I did it. Oh, natural 20. Did I roll a natural 20 and a natural 1? Can't tell from the roll.
No, you got 20 and a 19.
20 and an 18, yeah.
This here.
Oh,
She
the
was
plus
gone!
one.
Yeah, bitch. It's the sequel.
She is also prone because she was hiding under the bed. Okay. I think that's everybody. Yep. So, Greta, it's your turn first.
Is she wielding any kind of because she's a mage, right? She was using spells
No.
before.
Well, she can't. She's a maledictee.
Oh, she's
But she was
maledicting.
teleporting. But you would notice this black ash as she did it.
Is she how is the black ash being used? Is she got it in a little pouch or is it just being left behind when she does it?
You also always see her gesture to like a satchel as she does it, but under the bed at the moment, it's quite difficult to see her. So she's got cover, but she is prone.
Hmm. Just debating whether we can stop her teleporting anyway. Hard.
Mm.
Don't think I can really get her with the like stuff I want to get her with, because I can't really see this satchel from where I am.
No, be on her back
On her
and
out.
that's yeah, on the bed.
I think Greta would call out to try and say, she's like saying, she's under here! And then just like, she's just going to bonus action rage. I'll keep it simple for now. And then just start smashing the place up with the great sword.
Okay.
With advantage because she's prone. Oh, crit.
Holy shit.
So let's do this one first. Oh, I forgot to click rage on. There's +2 to that as well for rage. So 12 plus 4 is 16. Plus 7 is 23. Plus plus 8 is 31. Plus 6 is 37. Plus 2 is 39 points of damage on the first attack.
Well, you have to tell me what's slashing and what's fire.
Oh, so slashing would be 16 plus 7 is 16 plus 7 23 25 is slashing,
Okay.
and then well, it would be maximized. Would both be maximized? I'm a bit confused.
Aren't
No.
all the dice maximized?
So it'd be half.
Oh no, the first one.
So it'd be 8 fire and no, it'd be 4 fire. It'd be 4 plus 2. So no, yeah, 4 plus 4. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 fire and then 6 thunder, I think.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty big hit.
And then the second attack.
Yep.
It's a 21 to hit
Oh, that hits.
for 10, 13. A lot less that time.
So 13. Okay.
And she is raging.
She is looking very bad after that.
She's going to tell Hansel to sort of get his butt over. I can't actually see him. Just to go in the doorway and then dodge. That's all he can do. And he does get the little D4 as well. Up to 4. That's
You
my turn.
Use a legendary action. God. She will teleport there while still prone. Venix.
I ain't finished with you, you bitch.
Venix sees a teleport. It's gonna walk out into the hallway. Looks around, sees her on the floor. He's like, "This will be the last of you, Fulvia," and he casts lightning bolt.
Nice.
Do you get disadvantage on dexterity if you're on the floor?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Being prone. I'll have a look for you though.
Doesn't ring a bell for me.
Okay. He gets a nat 20 anyway.
No.
And you see this bolt straight out from a finger pointing at her. It goes straight into her body, almost cooking her alive. She is dead.
Fucking hell, we destroyed her that time.
Jesus.
Well done, guys.
2-turn combat.
It's
that-
like good riddance to bad rubbish.
They should call us Thunder and Lightning, mate.
Hmm.
She kind of like sort of lightly punches him in the leg as like a kind of thing.
Yeah, he doesn't react. Arrogate goes over to the body. He's like, "Oh, I was gonna eat her." He looks at real crestfallen.
Why would you want to eat that? That's gone off.
Why
mate.
not?
It's
It's
gone
twice
off.
your life, isn't it?
There's a tastier one waiting upstairs, Arrogate.
Oh, nice.
Big meal for a big man.
Yeah, it's me.
I wasn't expecting her to be under the bed.
I mean, neither was I, but it's what happens when you gotta pay attention, you know.
Yeah, I suppose so. I can't remember. Did we get into this room over here? We didn't. Did we?
No, you didn't get into
vault.
any of the vaults. There's 4 vaults on this level that you've seen, and they all have similar sort of vault-like architectures.
Oh.
What sort of stuff do you keep in these vaults, Benny?
Usually powerful magical items or artifacts. In the library, there's particular tomes that are powerful. I'm not sure what this person had, and points over there. But I did have a ring of invisibility in mine, assuming it's still there, which I highly doubt.
Just wondering, it might be worth trying to get into them anyway. Because, well, I think maybe the fire thing was the dragon fire was maybe an item, but an artifact maybe. Well, that's if you don't think there's any dragons here, Magus.
Maybe,
I doubt it.
maybe that is the thing you're looking for. You know, Drakons and the Aryan.
Yeah. I was just wondering if there was any more.
What about we lug this bitch's body up there and we say, "Oi, just give us what we want, or you're next."
Yeah, if you think that'll work.
I don't know, it's just a suggestion.
Rill glances awkwardly at the head on the spike.
I can make a shish kebab.
The collection.
Exactly. They'll fear my name wherever I go.
Yeah, just if she's as or he is as powerful as we think, then maybe it's still worth getting into these vaults.
Well, you must remember he is a maledicti. Where his power originated from before was his inherent magical ability, which was stripped from him, much like mine was before the torturous experiments they undertook on me.
Okay.
He was a feeble old man, otherwise.
Well, if you think we can take him without help from other things.
Does he like this Fulvia?
I
They
he
got
was
shacked up together.
yes, but it has been 500 years.
What about if we say, give us the thing and we'll bring her back to life? You can mess with him.
Mm,
Why don't you just kill him?
I mean, that's an option too.
yeah, well, I mean, you could try it, but I mean, maybe he'll want proof first, and I can't bring someone back to life.
More I think about it, I think Arrogate's got the right idea. Why don't we just charge up there and smash his face in?
Okay.
We killed her in like 2 seconds. How strong can this Magister be?
I suppose so. Well, if magic items can make you quite powerful, though, even if you're just using those.
What do you
If
think,
he has,
Leader Real?
if he has broken open your packages, Gilfie, kind of sucks
Yeah.
that even if we do win, it's destroyed the sanctity of your delivery.
No, I don't know how I'm going to explain that one to the bosses, but well, I'm going to try my best.
I don't think sneaking or talking has really been our forte. Probably we're or you give us the stuff or we'll smash your face in kind of crew. But
Yeah,
I'd
Amen
like
to
to
that.
take a little nap first, a little rest. We're at
yeah.
top
I guess I
potential.
was just wondering whether it was worth trying to break into these vaults to help ourselves first, but if you've already tried, well,
Well, I
then
tried the
that's
one, and we ended up fighting stuff. Just
true.
makes me wonder if we go around and end up fighting lots of stuff, whether like we handled the thing not too badly, but you never know. We could be putting ourselves extra risk, and I know there's potential reward.
Is there any way we
just-
could get like a little hole to look through into it? And then Patty could teleport in there with her powers.
The vault doors.
Or like these walls.
Hmm.
They don't look as sturdy. Or do they? I don't know.
It's hard to tell, really. They're made out of large blocks, but they're quite. Yeah, it'd be like trying to crash through a castle wall. That's
Yeah.
how it would look.
We only need a hole enough for her to see through though, right?
Yeah. I don't really have anything to crash through walls, though.
Well, look no further. She brings out the portable ram.
Just be ready, everyone, to fight another something.
Okay. I'll stand over here.
You just see Vernex. He just backs off fully into the other room.
Or I could try this crowbar. We could try and move one of these big stones out of the way.
By both, I guess.
Yeah. Whatever happens, we're gonna be triggering whatever protection it's got on it.
Cool. Right, you grab the stone with the crowbar and I'll smash it with the portable ram.
Unless Phoenix can dispel things.
I mean, you're trying to break into my vault. I don't know why I'd help with that.
Right, we'll
it's no,
try this
it's no
one.
longer your vault because someone else changed the lock, so we'd be getting you back into your vault.
It's true, but you're assuming only the door is the thing that is trapped. This is a magical tower.
Oh no, I'm saying wherever we go, we're going to trigger whatever's going on.
Could try the door first then.
If it's a physical lock, I can try and pick it, but it didn't go great last time. Can Rill inspect it?
Yeah. Go ahead and do investigation or arcana.
15.
Venix would have given you the key, seeing as you said to earlier. You quickly discern that it's a completely different cut. Like, it looks like the lock's been completely changed. You can almost see a rippling as you put the key towards it, that looks like some form of barrier that might
Jeez.
trigger. This is all without touching it.
Yeah.
The key does seem to have some affinity, and it's almost like there's a weak force, like pulling it towards the lock as well.
Okay.
But you think it's probably trapped. You can probably attempt to pick it, but it's not going to be easy. I mean, you don't. Rill himself doesn't know the technology behind these doors, plus the magical warding looks scary.
Yeah. Like, we're in a little democracy here, but I gotta tell you all, I think this is real dumb.
We could just go nick the key off the Magister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone's
So-
changed the locks, then, to my logic, the Magister's already had his way with all the vaults and everything here. And I doubt he's gonna leave stuff that's gonna be potentially overthrowing him down
Yeah.
here.
Well, I doubt there's many people that visit here, though. Maybe he needs a storage place. But, why would you change the locks if there's nothing in there?
Yeah, very true.
You could always check the body of Fulvia.
Oh yeah, good point. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. So on Fulvia's body, Greta, you would find a short sword, which is do an investigation check on it.
I'm really good at that. 4.
It's a short sword. It's highly enamelled. There's a very slight sheen to it, with like a black ichor as well. Can't really work out what it is. But you know that it felt horrible when it got stabbed into you earlier.
She's gonna chuck it to Real and say, "You're better with these than I am."
Ooh. Is it magical?
It's not magical, but you can do an investigation check as well.
Yeah. Huh. 22.
Oh, well, we've seen things similar to this. It's a short sword that has inherent poison attached to it. So mechanically, it does a plus 2d6 poison damage if you fail a Constitution saving throw 15.
He nods approvingly and calls out to Venix to say, "How do you and your kind feel about poisons? I know your biology's all weird."
Well, I'm not sure. My culture's fragmented, but it wasn't looked favourably upon before, especially in the Mage's Tower.
Do you think a poison might hurt the Archmagister?
Well, with your investigation check, actually, because it's so high, you don't think this was made. You think this is a modern weapon.
She's like taking it off some guy she's killed. Cool. Yeah.
Wow, she got on her.
I'll What should I add to my inventory?
I'll post it. Short sword, like poison lock short sword or something. It does that. Well, that's her stats. It'd be whatever yours are with a short sword.
Mine will be the same.
So, but
7d6.
Oh, it's meant to be 2d6.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Woo! Very cool.
She's got a light crossbow on her, Greta, which you would notice. It's nothing special. Again, you'd recognise this crappy workmanship from somewhere like Full Sail. You'd find a pouch on her and if you looked inside, you'd see the black powder that you'd seen before. You can do an Arcana check if you want to work out how exactly it works.
Can I just play around with it and see how it works? I don't think Greta's exactly the most Arcana gifted, so
If she's playing around with it, where's she thinking of?
probably like the vault. I think she wants to go to the vault, so she's like grabs it in her hand and then just like flue powders it on the floor.
Nothing would happen in that case.
Then she'd try the bedroom after that, like imagining
The one she's been in,
yeah.
yeah, you would, as long as it was within 30 feet, you'd end up there. You would work out from playing around with this. There's probably about 4 uses left.
Nice. What's it called?
Haven't made it. But it's just I'll
Ash
just write
of
teleportation. Yeah, and it goes 30 feet to a place that you've already seen before.
30 feet to a place you've seen before. Cool. I'll have that. Is it an action or a bonus action?
It is a bonus action.
Okay.
Venix would be like, if you gave me a charge of that powder, I could get into my vault.
How are you going to do that then? Oh,
Well-
you've been in there before. I get you.
Exactly.
How are you going to get back out?
Well, it opens from the inside.
Alright then. She'll give him a thing.
Okay. He takes the powder, dashes it on the ground, so you have 3 left.
Mm-hmm.
He rummages around for a few minutes, and then walks out the room.
Nice.
Sits down in a chair.
We got it open, lads.
Oh, nicely done.
What's in it? Is there quite a lot of stuff?
Do investigation check.
I'm gonna let Real do that. I'm not good at investigating.
Gilfy just looks at Venix. She said, was it hard to open the door from the inside?
Well, I can tell you that most of my things are gone. I took my ring of invisibility. I left something in there for you if you can find it.
Got a 27.
Okay, and
Oh, we found
Real.
it.
I can find it.
Okay. Real, for you, this is quite a find.
Oh,
You find a greater fire fragment, which counts
Ooh.
as 3 fire gems, which you can enchant your weapons with.
that's cool. Okay, turns around and presents it to the group.
Down.
That one's really magical, Real. It's a good one.
Mucho Fire.
How many do you need to upgrade a one that's got fire in it already?
If you got 1d4, it goes up to 1d6 with 2 more. Then you need another. So if you had a 1d6, you could upgrade to a 1d8 with 3, or yeah, it's in that document.
Does anyone else have?
I was thinking Hippatra's fists.
Oh yeah, do that.
Time to upgrade your fists. So we use 2 of them, right? To turn her D4 into a D6.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. Let it be so.
Yeah. You can also see that Venix has walked out with a very fancy staff as well. But he didn't comment on it at all.
What does that do?
It's a walking stick.
Right.
Gilfy look at it and see what it is.
You're not kind of check from afar, Gilfy.
Yeah,
Do an insight check.
with guidance.
Gilfy, you can't tell what it is, but you know it is distinctly magical. Ooh, wait, hang on. Do you know that D4? No, you still don't know with that.
Dang it.
Greta, you know he's lying. Quite a blatant lie, really.
Tell us what it is, or you'll need it as a walking stick.
I can show you what it is if you want.
Yeah, go on. That's why I asked.
Well, I have to hit someone with it.
That's why I asked.
They have
You want
to
me
be
to
alive.
hit you with it?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, you're gonna let him hit you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it does this much necrotic damage, and can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Nope. He's bonking Greta on the head with it.
Yeah. So Greta, you have failed, and you have disadvantage for 1 hour on any ability check or saving throw that uses Strength or Constitution.
Great.
He just smiles at you as he does it.
Thanks for that.
You asked.
Well, I'm claiming your bed.
Yeah, Greta, as you climb in, this bed feels very musty. Like someone has been sweating a lot as they've been in it.
Ugh, gross. She'll take it for now. It's probably a source of comfort in this otherwise desolate wasteland.
Yeah.
Alright. Is it time to have a little rest before we head upstairs?
Oh, we don't need a rest. Let's just fucking go and get them.
I appreciate the strategy.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a short rest.
Rest
You
over
leaving? You leaving a guard out?
Well, Rill wants to literally rest where I've put his token, looking up the
Okay.
stairs.
Okay. Yeah. So, Brill, do a perception check for this time.
Easy. Pete.
Brill, you don't hear anyone come down the stairs, but as you're doing it, it's very, very faint, but you can hear it with your perception. It's just the very tail end of laughing, and it just seems to go on for 20 minutes, like like that, unstopping for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, Rill just kind of mutters to himself. Yeah, somehow I don't think their whole talking method would have worked.
So with that, everyone can take a short rest.
Nice. How many hit die do I have? Oh, I've got all of them. Great. Great.
Short
Nice.
resting.
It's an 18.
Rill would encourage Arrogate to Breath.
Yeah. He would be climbing around the room a bit, but eventually he would just start hanging off the ceiling.
Real would keep him entertained by talking about what he could beat in a fight.
Yeah.
He'd be
Already
like,
asked.
could you beat a bear in a fight?
Yeah. I'm bugbear, innit? It's like double the bear.
What about
2 words.
gorilla riding a bear?
Hang on. Oh yeah, definitely. Wouldn't even be a problem. And what I'd do
See.
is, as it's riding towards me, I'd like jump on it, stick to it, push it over, and then eat him.
Pretty smart.
Yeah. They don't call me arrogant or smart for nothing, do they?
I have heard them say that.
Yeah.
What about
You bet. Wait, you came from the Pearl, yeah?
we were there, yeah.
Yeah. What have they been saying about me while I've been gone?
That you could fight 2 gorillas riding 2 bears at the same time.
Not even 3?
I tried to forge a case of 3, but some people didn't seem convinced. They said you didn't have the muscles for it.
What was it? Who said that?
It was Stinky Steve in the pub.
Oh yeah, Stinky Steve's always had it out for me.
I mean, some people just can't handle it, you know. And
You know what I'm gonna do when I go back? Because I've got these new powers now, and he's like he stands from a ceiling. Because I imagine you're having this conversation where you're standing up, but he's like
Yeah.
that.
Wait, I'm just thinking, how tall is the ceiling?
It's about 40 feet.
What, in this room alone? Holy shit.
Yeah, these are really big rooms.
Damn it. I thought it'd be like 10. If it was like 10 feet, because he's like that tall and he's got reach, he could like reach up to the thing like Spider Man and just like pull himself up.
But yeah, as the short rest comes to an end, Real would say, "All right, it's time to do this. Greta and I will head up in first, but with the whole dragon breath thing, probably good to spread out. And while we're here for a good reason," he smiles at Gilfie, "let's not get ourselves killed to run away. We can."
Yeah. No, please don't everyone die. But I'm still grateful for everyone helping me.
Of course, you've helped all of us.
It's like the best adventure I've had in ages. That's what you're fucking thanking me for.
Mm.
Yeah, no problem, Gilf. You owe me one.
Yeah, I do. Maybe I can get back to you when we get not on the island.
Sweet. Maybe you can get a package for me somewhere.
Yeah. 2 packages even.
I just want to point out, if we didn't come along, you'd still be stuck in that jail cell.
Yeah, but I would have got out eventually, wouldn't I?
How long were you in there for?
Don't know. He just looks around. Long enough.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Right, let's get going.
Let's go.
Yeah, as you're sort of proceeding up the staircase, you can feel Venex is definitely lingering at the back. Like he feels like he doesn't want to seem involved, kind of thing, but just seeing where things are going to go. So you go up this grand staircase. The sort of division between the levels is even greater than the other levels, and it feels like you're walking for about 10 minutes around and around and around before you eventually get to here. put it in the middle, the complete middle of the map.
Momo's dead again, right?
Momo, how did Momo die? Oh, did he get fired? No way.
I can't remember.
He probably.
He got turned into a pot when the fire came down.
I just always assume.
I'm pretty ssure he got bopped at some point.
Yeah, me too.
I think it
Hang
was
on.
the fire.
If not, he would have
But
been
not-
thrown at a vault door by now anyway. So.
Yeah.
Oh no, he got zapped by the lightning.
Oh, there you go. See you tomorrow, Momo. The life of torture he leads.
Need Patra and Greta. So, and also as you're coming up the staircase, this sort of maniacal laughing seems to grow and grow. Real, you recognise it from before.
He was laughing, or they were laughing while we were resting.
Mm.
I don't
Oh,
think
who
we're
is
dealing
it?
with someone entirely attached to their sanity.
Mm.
Or they heard a really funny joke.
Maybe. Where did these two doors go then?
They're next to be like, and you'd notice this as well, Gilfie. The laughing seems to be coming from this door. He's like, that's the Archmagister's room. That is the library, which I am going to sit in as he opens the door. Oh yes, I hope you don't die, but I don't really want to be involved in this.
Been a pleasure.
Sit down. But you know, if you're winning, I'll come help you.
Let's go.
Respect. All right.
I'm gonna check it, make sure there's no traps on it.
Yep.
I
And
didn't.
Real's gonna pop out a echo behind him. Feedback. Actually, but may use a hero. That's a hero point. I may use inspiration. No, I'm 17.
Though the door looks exquisite, Real. You don't think it's trapped?
Locked.
From just looking at it?
Yeah. Does it?
You can't tell
Is
from
there
just...
is there a keyhole or?
There's a keyhole, and if you, with seeing as your investigation check was quite good, the bit where the latch would go over appears to be unlocked.
Okay.
Alright, fuckula. Where's that goddamn package?
Let's go.
So, Real, as you open the door,
Yep.
see this wizened figure in decaying robes, and he's casually residing in a magnificent bed. Most noticeably, he's wearing a Draken skull, beautifully encrusted with gems and inlaid with gold.
No.
He faces you from the bed, and the horns protruding from the head indicates they're maledicti. He sees you come in, he's like, "So the intruders come to my room to greet me." And he's wearing this giant skull at the moment, which Gilfie you'd immediately recognise as Draken. But also do a perception check to see if you can notice anything else that could be Draken on him.
Okay.
Yeah. You see hold on. God, where is he? You would notice with that he's got this long sword laying beside him that looks like a giant dragon's talon.
Mm.
And on his back as he's sitting up in a bed, it's this huge longbow which seems to be fashioned into the shape of a dragon's wing. And he's just sitting there in all this fine regalia, all these Draken artifacts staring out at you.
Oh, he certainly has more than one.
Oh, do I do this?
That might be your package, Gil.
I'm tempted to just whack him with the lightning whip.
Why do you come to my quarters? Coming to rob me?
Rill will take a 5-foot movement, step into the room with his hands up and open. He says, we came hearing about the incredible artifact that you possess, Archmagister.
Persuasion check just to see how well he takes that.
Yeah. I will use my inspiration there. It's now gone. There. Way off.
You're lucky you exceeded it, bro. Yes, you boy there. You remind me of the other visitor I had many years ago. Less strapping, less fiery. But as inquisitive, I see.
Perhaps you speak of my comrade. He doesn't know whether to go for my comrade Azar Sunspear.
Oh no, greater people than Azar Sunspear have came here, though I did know he did speak of Azar, yes. Take another guess.
It was Firebrand then.
Yeah.
And what was your impression of him?
Oh, like most of your kind, fiery and hot-headed. But he was smart. He listened to me. He went where I told him to go.
Where did you tell him to go?
The wound of the world, dear boy. The constant outpouring of those beings.
What beings?
He sort of takes a big sigh. He went there to hold them off, you know. I wouldn't go with him. I'm too weak since I lost my powers.
You knew that he needed to be there then?
Yes. Yes. I do. Are you trying to sneak towards him, Rill?
Rill is calmly, taking a step, replying, engaging in conversation, taking another step. He's not leaning over the bed or anything. He's kind of standing politely by the bed.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask everyone else. What are you doing? Because his eyes are going between Rill and directly outside.
Gilfie's standing behind Greta.
Greta's occupying the doorway with Hansel and kind of looking in and listening. And then I think, I don't know whether to do it or not. She's going to she's pulls out the potion of necrotic resistance and is just sipping it down slowly, just
Yeah.
Around the door, actually.
Arrogate would sort of be hanging in the doorway, so you're kind of all in the doorway. He's like, oh, we must get tough. Patra, what are you doing?
She's just sort of chilling, kind of a bit further back than all of these people.
Okay, so it's only Rill approaching, and he's engaging with Rill. So he likes teasing him, so he looks at you, Rill. He's like, why have you come here?
We are a group of friends who help each other. One of us had something taken from her.
But when you say taken from her, he shuffles in the bed slightly over to there. And his hand is on the sword, but he hasn't sort of done anything yet. What was taken?
Something that didn't even really belong. Instead, they were delivering it somewhere else, and they, to their full credit, take their duties and responsibilities very seriously. So we've come a long way through a lot of danger to get them back.
And narrows his eyes at you.
You've lived a very long time here. We've had the pleasure of meeting some of your erstwhile companion.
I banished her. She got boring after 300 years. Glad she's dead.
Vanishing of our own. We're just interested in the missing goods, really. Be a shame for such a long life to be cut short over a few deliveries gone wrong.
And just going to quickly look at all of you. Eyes like dart around the room really quickly.
I'm not moving, by the way. I'm just
Okay.
adding the thing on my token for the necrotics. I don't forget.
He sees Gilfie in the doorway. Like, you're a postal bird.
I am.
Is it one of the packages from the bank that you came for?
How did you know?
That uniform. This helmet. Invaluable.
Yeah.
Kind of looks around. I see you're all in possession of valuable arcane trinkets. If I had a worthy trade, maybe I'd give it up to you.
I mean, I don't really pay for packages. They kind of just get given to me.
You can pay or I can take them.
Will holds his hands up
Mhm.
to both sides and it's like, we've come across a few trinkets on our way. I don't find myself overly attached to any of them. And he would hold up the fire mephit lantern in his left hand and the amulet of the raven in his right hand. Anything catch your eye?
It's a good start. Kind of looks at the rest of you. Do you know who this helmet belonged to? Or should I say, which head this skull resided in?
Go on.
No.
It was the last Dragon Lord of a dragon. It has unfathomable power. It's no wonder your people wanted it guarded so quickly. But powerful artifacts need to be protected by those who have the wisdom to protect them, and not the Aryan. But, as I say, a worthy trade. These, and he gestures to the magical items, these Peebles. Yes, it's a normal word in my language. Don't go anywhere close enough to the value of his helmet.
Fine, I'll hand it over. I've got something way more valuable than your crappy helmet, mate.
Drop it on the floor, then add it to the pot.
I've got the lightning broom of... She's going to try and make up some kind of word. Of Brielle Gashak.
Okay. Here, He's going to do a perception because he might recognize the broom, but you can do
Can I do
a
deception?
deception.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, I've got inspiration, but I'll keep that, I guess. Well, fuck.
That's just a broom you put magical power into, though. It would add to the fine stack that's adding up.
Chill.
Well,
Okay.
She'll chuck the broom over, I guess.
I wanted to keep this for myself, and he kind of takes out a little potion bottle, holds it sadly in his hand, gazes longingly at it. They say it can grant magical powers to those who don't have them.
What?
Yeah, we came across a mystical cellar of potions. I didn't want
Roll.
to start. Yep.
Do a deception check. I can't remember if you've actually got this or not.
No, I
So,
don't.
okay.
13.
Got 15.
Yep.
There isn't enough power. The venom doesn't exist anymore. Trying to deceive me. You've just upped the price for the helmet.
Fine.
That! He points at Greta. I want that thing off her back. And that is only 1/10 of the price.
Fine. She'll grab the whip. And she goes, this is the thing you really want, yeah?
Yeah.
And what about this? And she pulls out a potion of fire giant strength. And
Wait, I'll need to make a list of what's on the table because this could actually get
Wow.
quite...
I don't think you are going to need to make a list.
Okay.
she's going to uncork the potion of fire giant strength, down it as quick as she can, and then attack him with the whip.
Well, I would say after downing the potion, you would need to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn
Okay.
it. Oh, if I'd gotten away with that, I was going to just try and
That
get him
could
to
have
drink
been
it.
fucking big.
Because I have a thing that turns your body, a potion that turns your body to stone.
Oh my god, that would have been so good.
It
Oh
was
my
such a good
god.
idea. It
That
was such a good idea.
Damn it.
If Phoenix was in the room, I would have given you advantage.
How much?
We used to have a potion that does restore spell slots, so I
Yeah.
wanted to have Rill
Yeah.
hold that, so I didn't have to do a deception check. And then when it came to handing it over, Rill, though he never uses it, has a really good sleight of hand modifier, and I was going to try and switch.
Oh, that would have been so smart. How does what strength does fire giant strength give you? Does anyone know?
Let me have a look.
Big 26.
I will say, you could have paid him off, but it would have taken an awful lot.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Because
Yeah.
basically you'd keep adding stuff and you'd be like, oh. But
Arrogate would have been like, I like this guy. He understands.
it was feasible.
Yeah. Just looking through my stuff, I've got like nothing. Give him the half a sending stone.
25, Natalie.
Rill could have put him on a phone call with fucking Sing Song.
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Have a word with my lawyer.
Hello?
Initiative, amaze, inspiration. Let's see if I need it. Oh, still behind him. It's so annoying.
You can't get in front of him. You only got a one
Yeah,
modifier.
you're right. I'll take the 17 then, I guess.
A patois initiative. About to fight big baddie. Potentially. With a fancy
Let's
hat.
rage. Let's do this one.
Davy Millstone bursts in. That's my hat.
17. should have just hit him with it rather than doing a drink the potion.
Well, I did see that even when you say attack, it always starts initiative.
Yeah.
Something we haven't been doing right for a while.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Well, I got +10 to my strength saving throws now.
And disadvantage.
I
Oh
thought
wait, no,
we
because
went-
we've short rested.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
short rested.
Nice.
Casual +10 to hit.
We did a short rest. Nope.
Okay, is everyone rolled?
I think so. Unless you're rolling for Wuss's tits.
Probably
Library.
should actually. Probably not going to do much until the end. Okay, that's interesting to know. I think it's because I hadn't started the music. I was just waiting for it to start because.
You're the DM,
Yeah.
Kieran. You've got to
Yeah,
press
I
the
know.
music.
Oh no. Forgot. There we go. Hepatra, you're up first. You're seeing Greta's like going to down this potion. The guy in the bed seems to have reacted quite he would have been like sat in the bed pretty comfortable, but now he's like drawing up, like standing on the bed with the covers dropping. And he's not. He's naked. No, he's not.
I'm so sad
Apart
that
from-
it's not.
Apart from the hat, that'd be so great.
Oh,
Pajamas on.
Yeah, please say he's got pajamas on at least.
I'd say
yeah,
he's
we're
got
really
a very.
focusing on the right bit of this, guys.
He's got a robe on that is a lot like my wizard's robes, and it's sealed, but it's very close to unsealing.
Kieran, why do you have wizard robes? Actually, why did I even bother asking that question? Anyway, can we tell kind of what the expression is? Is it horror? Is it go on, do it? You know, is it don't drink that,
more-
it's mine? As in, don't drink that, it's poison. Whatever.
It's more like I'm a massive hoarder, and they're coming for my stuff.
Well, that's an expression I know well.
Yeah, my dad.
I was
And
thinking
me and
more
Natalie
myself,
move those
yes.
boxes.
Oh my god, that was so scary.
Yeah, it's that expression.
Oh my god. Okay.
Never touch a hoarder's stuff.
Yeah, Tom, never touch a hoarder's stuff. Well, Hepatra's gonna sort of elbow her way through between them and try and slap it out of Greta's hands.
Oh shit!
Wait, what?
You don't know what could be in that.
I
No.
do know what's in it.
She knows.
Wait.
So basically, it looks like Greta's going to attack this guy.
Stop it. We don't need to have a fight unnecessarily.
I think we're beyond that. It's initiative.
I'd
Yes,
say
we can come out of initiative.
I'm just drinking a potion. That's all I'm doing.
Oh my god.
We were considering dealing with him, but he was starting for way too much, and it kind of wasn't worth it. So then Greta decided to it's fine.
Oh, good. Do more fast punch then, if I may.
Are you jumping on the bed with him?
No, because I don't need to fight him. I'm just gonna hold the punch for in case he starts to try and punch anyone. But genuinely, he looks about 900 and very decrepit, so I don't think he's capable of it.
He's about 600, actually.
Oh yes, because that's so much younger.
Can we get the things off Hepatra's token as well?
Yeah.
Right,
And now it's because I saved it wrong at one point.
because Tom's being a weenie.
Big weenie boy.
Okay, big weenie energy. And that's me, I think. Because I don't want to have to fight if I don't have to. And I'm not beating up this strange old man. You'll basically just turn into dust under my fists.
Strange old man's turn.
Let's see.
He's like, "You're coming for my possessions!" and he's going to let out a 60-foot cone.
Okay, no. Now's the time for punching.
You can take a reaction as he jumps off a bed, Patra.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Do a stunning
Oh,
strike. I missed.
Damn it.
Okay. And he is going to fire breath everybody.
Oh, good.
You see this gout of flame emerge from the skull helmet he's got on.
Yep.
What the fuck did this guy? He came for his stuff.
Yeah.
Now you know where the gout of flame came from.
Yeah.
Cool hat.
Pretty low.
Greta's got resistance to fire.
Yeah, it is magical fire, so it is halved. Farragut dodges.
I think she's got straight up resistance because of that fucking thing. What's his face? When I gave him all the fire.
Yeah. So if you got under, if you got under 17, you take 46 fire damage as he jumps off the bed and just gouts it out. If you got past it, then you take half of that.
Hansel is badly hurt.
Themesies.
Who have we got?
You still have evasion though from Monk, so you still get half.
Who's
So
Arrogate?
does everyone get the Requigness thing?
Yeah.
So everyone gets whatever they're taking halved.
Huh?
Yeah, because of party bonus.
So if I get halved because of evasion and halved because of Requigness,
Yeah.
does that mean I get halved and halved again, or
You take 11
What's-
damage.
okay?
Did you?
23.
Yeah, you should get some back then, Hannah. And that means Hansel should get some back actually.
Yeah.
Good job, Quigley.
Plus 23. There we go.
Yeah, that's the end of his turn.
Sweet. I'm doing the vicious lightning whip at him.
Okay.
I will rage first, I guess. That's my bonus action. Oh, fuck's sake, stupid doors. Rage. Then vicious lightning whip. I will reckless it as well. Obviously get into range first, so here. 25 to hit. I will use a charge up.
Okay. So 9, 11, 13 points of damage, and he's got to make a con save. Hang on. Yep, con save.
Actually, I'm not going to rage, so only 11 damage.
He will use one of his legendary resistances.
Oh,
So as he starts...
He passed anyway. It's a DC 14.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. He's like, stay away from me! Stay away from my foe!
Instead of raging, I am going to use one of these Imperium Greater Healing Potions.
Okay.
Which I believe is like 68 plus 8.
Yeah, that's right.
Just quickly. 47. So let's do damage. Ah, that's alright. Getting back to full second attack. Again, reckless. Let me put the reckless token on. Where is it? There it is. $21.
Hit.
Use another charge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so cons. Then he will use a legendary resistance.
Okay, so another 11 points of damage. And then I'll send Hansel and Little Grim just running the fuck out of here. Unless Little Grim's just fucking dead.
No, he's like tucked in your pocket. So that's how I've ruled it.
Yeah, he's just gonna chuck Little Grim on Hansel and get Hansel the fuck out of there, basically. Gonna move him all the way back in here. I think I don't see enough movement. Yeah, he's gonna get all the way in here. And then dodge. That is my turn, though.
As a legendary action, Archmagister Vidus will pull out his dragon wing longbow. He's like, "Stay away from me! Stay away from me!" And he points at Hepatra. He's like, "Oh!" It does 8 piercing and 3 fire damage.
Yeah.
Fire half to 1.
Enough there. He says, "Just leave your stuff and go to teleportation portals and tell, what's her name? Tell Zosimus I have granted you exit. Yes." Really, it's your turn.
Zosimus is such a good name. Will. We will. It's potion drinking time yet. Yeah, he's gonna play it cool for now. Just take. We'll even do steady aim and take a short bow shot. A nut 21.
Just hits.
7 piercing, 13 piercing, 2 thunder.
It doesn't do the sneak attack, does it?
It does, because I had advantage. Attack.
Hey.
That is my turn.
Benix is like, "Sounds pretty bad in there." And Arrogate is like, "All right, it's fucking bad. Arrogate!" And charges in.
Yes. Absolutely.
I want to take a bite out of someone. He's going to try and take a bite out of him. He misses. Try again though. Misses again. Gilfie, it's your turn.
Good
Yeah.
job, Arrogate.
Yuffie will activate the chalice. So all the stars on the wings glow. Coming over to Hepatra. Let's do. Have a first level for now. Oh, good one. And then for the chalice. Where's the button? What's it so hard to find? Okay. And then real. Yes, this one. And she goes back down the corner.
Thank you very much.
At the end of your turn, Gilfie, Archmagus Avidus pull out his Dragon Wrath Greatsword and turn around like, "Get away from me, you filthy beast!" and swing it at Aragest.
Half to one.
Oh shit, that hurt. Hepatra.
Use your stunning strike. We can stun him with all our stunning shit.
I'm gonna punch this crusty old man. My life
Yeah.
is so glad.
You remember your fire damage is a d6 now.
Oh, cool.
As you
Oh,
throw
that's
this
nice.
strike, Vidus's frail little arm just goes up and he like blocks it. And the other one, he's like, bats it away.
Can I do flurry of blows, please?
Yep.
Because I'm actually weirdly scared of this old man. I don't actually really know why. Number one.
Again,
Fuck's sake!
he's like, no. But that one, you sock him right in the jaw.
Stunning strike. Stunning strike.
1d6.
Why are my rolls are so shit today? Dear God.
1d6.
Oh, 1d6. I thought it was 2d4, wasn't it? No, it was 1d4. Sorry, no, I'm being 3.
And then Natalie wants you to do Stunning Strike.
I thought that was Stunning Strike.
No.
You just kind of declare it.
I am doing Stunning Strike.
You spend a key
Okay.
point.
And then I do, was it wisdom?
Con.
Con?
Yeah. DC 12, it says.
Ugh, damn it.
You Magister.
At the end of the turn, he's like, "Oh, you want some as well, do you?" And he swings around at you with his Dragon Wrath Greatsword at you, Patra.
Oh god, I thought that
24?
was a crit then.
Definitely hits. You take 11 slashing and 2 fire. Well, 1 fire, so 12. You're down to 11. His go. Ooh, what's he gonna do? I'll see if he gets his power back. He doesn't.
Clap for that.
You will fall before me like the stupid denizens of the Imperium! And he's gonna make one dragon greatsword strike against Hepatra.
Is she dead?
Does 7 slashing and 5 fire, so Hepatra goes down.
Dead open inside.
Even with the halved on the fire.
Oh wait, yeah.
After 2.
Oh wait, yeah. Wait, so-
Yeah.
Yeah, just. And then he turns around at Arrogant. He's like, "Oh, you filthy beast!" And strikes at him. Hits Arrogant. So Arrogant goes down 7. He will gets his legendary actions back. Great, it's your turn.
Let's just fucking kill this twat. Rage. It's my bonus action. Wherever the little symbol is. Can't fucking find it. There it is. Double attack with Elemental Greatsword, Reckless.
Ian.
24
It hits.
for 18 plus 4 is 22. 24 points of damage.
Wait, got half it. So
Second attack is a nat 20 for 12 plus 7 is 19 plus 10 is 29.
you're gonna have to tell me it all separately.
31 slashing damage,
So that goes to okay.
and then 4. Is the thunder and the fire maximized?
It's one of each dice, right?
Yeah.
The first dice is maximized.
So 6 thunder and 6 fire.
Okay. Okay.
That is my turn.
He will use the legendary action after your turn. He's like, number 4, Magister Venus, and strikes at Arrogate, which misses. She's like, it's you. Real, it's your turn.
Rill will move to here. How many actions would it take for him to get a potion out of the bag of holding and feed it to Patra? Is that 2 actions?
Yeah, technically it would be, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll spend an action surge to do that. Where's it gone? Old hospital potion. Edit.
She does have advantage on her death saves, though.
5. Nice. 60.
Because she's a reborn.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
a Dampier.
Cool. 6 plus 2. Oh, that's a good roll. 45 HP. Back to you, Hepatra. 45. We got some wacky potions.
You get some wacky potions.
Wacky. And then bonus action, I will. Spread out a bit. It's my turn.
Fenix gonna come in. Sort of runs down to a doorway to have a look. It's like, what a benign display. And Eric, in between his turn, he's definitely going to swing at Arrogate again. He's like, why won't you die? Yes. And he strikes down Arrogate. Oh, no. Arrogate, death saving throw. Fails. Gilby, it's your turn.
Gilby flies around the corner. Yep. Let's get Arrogate back up with an aura. And because I cast it for the first time, I do get the 6 thingy, and I'll just do it all myself. Chalice.
Yeah. So, Arrogate.
And I'll move back.
He will use his last legendary action. Oh god, yeah, he's going to strike at Greta, seeing as he hasn't done that already.
With advantage because of reckless.
$24.
Hits. 13 half to 6, and then 2 to 8 damage.
Patra, it's your turn.
Sorry, I'm getting really weirdly aggy while I'm not even unmuted. Just gonna do the same thing again. Punch him, flurry of blows.
Stunning strike.
Yeah. First punch. Hit.
You'd have,
19?
Misses.
you'd
Just
have, no,
misses.
she'd have advantage because of Greta.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
How can a 19 miss?
The 22 hits, though.
Wait, 10 and 14.
Very good. Mhm.
Second one, 17. I'm guessing misses.
17 does miss.
You poo head. Flurry of
The 26 hits.
11. Sorry, I do know how to do this with advantage. I apologise.
Okay.
Oh, it's something on silly thing. 19 again. Oh,
He-
plus advantage 26.
Yep. You've rolled that way.
Oh
Oh,
no,
you
I
rolled-
did it. It did it
Oh,
because I
right.
did it with advantage on D&D Beyond. Sorry, it did it only on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
9
All right. Yeah.
and 1. 11. It's fucking 11 one. Jesus Christ, a child could do better maths than that. 10.
Okay. So after you pound this guy Hepatra, not in that way on the bed, it goes over to his turn, and he's looking bloodied, but then his body seems to re-heal with maledictite energy, the energy of undead. Not substantially, but a little bit. God, what's he going to do? He's going to see if he gets his power back. He's like, "You will taste the fury of the dragon!" But, actually you won't. Ooh, okay. He's going to be like, "If you don't leave here now, I will kill your bugbear friend." And he turns around with the great sword, swings at Arrogate, hits, knocks him down. Oh, he's like, "If you don't stop this disgusting display, I will execute him." And he holds up his thing ready to strike. Would anyone react?
Greta's just raging out, so she's just
You
ready
can't
to
see.
kill him.
Real?
If you kill him, you die. You're already outmatched. Phidias, just give us what we came here for.
No, I have the power of a dragon! And he strikes down at Arrogate with advantage. Which is 2 death saves to Arrogate. Great, it's your turn.
I'm whacking. Recklessly. Ugh.
Oh.
I'll inspiration that. So, just one more roll. 20.
Just hits.
Ooh.
Hmm.
16 slashing, 2 thunder, 3 fire. And then
Yep.
second attack, reckless. 29.
Yep, that hits.
20 slashing, 2 thunder, 1 fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pump a couple of Furies of the Small into that as well for an extra 6 points of damage.
Yep.
Yeah, got anything
This guy's
else?
taking a big thumping. And with that, he's going to use a legendary action and strike at Arrogate on the floor.
Oh shit.
Forgot he had a legendary action to do that. Whoops.
Did again.
Yep. And with that, Arrogate is dead.
No.
You guys did it. You killed my NPC.
Oops.
Real. Your turn.
Yeah. It's not
Sorry, I would have fed him the potion, but I completely forgot he had legendary actions.
best.
It's alright.
campaign.
Alright. He, the best, the strongest torches burn the brightest for the shortest.
I thought maybe I could have killed him as well. Oh well.
Yeah, Real's upset, but I guess he'll move in and use Fulvia's sword because that might be more insulting. Huh.
Oh, nice.
Got a crit.
Very nice.
It's the 11, 12. That's sneak attack maximize 24. That's 4 is 28. And then he makes the con save for poison damage. So 28 piercing.
Wait, remember, he's got resistance to piercing. So what was the
14.
piercing? Let's see.
So 28 down to 14
Okay.
And he has to make
And
a
then-
con save, right?
on a
Yeah.
DC
Um,
15. Takes 8 poison damage. That is my turn.
Right. God. These everyone's kind of alright. Can you make it just turn? Okay, he's gonna strike out at Greta. He's like, "You filthy goblins did nothing!" And yeah.
With advantage. It hits anyway, but yeah. 4 and 2, so 6 damage.
Phoenix is gonna walk in, and you hear Vidus be like, "Phoenix, save me from these beasts!" And Phoenix just looks at him. He's like, "No." He's gonna witch bolt him.
I felt like he was gonna.
And then he holds out his arm. He's like, "Oh fuck!" And it's like, "Yeah!" And it just starts spraying around the room. My moment to be cool. Vidus is going to be like, "Well, your friends will die." And then Phoenix like, "They're not my friends." And Vidus is like, "I don't care." Strikes out at Greta.
So 5 fire and so 7 damage. This is what it feels like to be Blam.
No, if you were Blam, you'd just be doing normal attacks.
Guilty.
How do you
Blam,
mean
your
normal?
turn.
Well, in Cold Mountain, George didn't often do
Oh,
great hits or
yeah.
anything.
Oh yeah, I
Weird.
forgot he didn't do
Really?
that. That was sad. I always like the Blam combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have some. Have some aura. Ritter.
Thanks.
And action. Might throw a star at him. Eh.
Yeah, the star actually collides into him. He's no! And it hits him and drives him back into the wall.
Your voice, because it cut out, it sounded like the Wilhelm scream, like "Ah!" Or like
He's looking-
R2D2 when he goes like gets blown up.
He's looking very bad. He's like, no, I can't die here. I had to be in my things. And he sort of and he uses his movement, which he can, his legendary action to move without provoking attacks of opportunity, and he gets in here.
Oh yeah.
It's a joy.
Patrick, it's your turn. My beautiful things, I can't be without you. So Patrick, it's your turn.
Where has he even gone? I didn't even see him go.
He's running to the door over here.
This one. Oh yeah, there he is. Chasing him. I'm gonna punch him in the butt. Why not? Just waste all of my key points. Hopefully we'll have a short rest again soon because I am poop. First punch. 23.
It's, as you see him like grasping towards his possessions, you punch him.
11.
Yeah.
No. No. Did I just tick off that? Yeah, I did tick off the key point. Bonus action.
Misses.
No. God. Can die. 18. Misses again.
Yeah. And Venus's
Not
turn.
happy.
He turns around to you. He's like, "You will feel the power of the dragon." Sadly, you won't. So, leave me with my things. Just don't take them. And makes 2 attacks with his Dragon Wrath Greatsword. 16 hits. Take 13 slashing and 2 fire damage for Petra.
Cool. Yeah. Great. Thanks. Strange old man.
Greta.
Running around here, whacking his face
Yep.
recklessly again. Oh yeah!
Yep, it hits.
15 slashing, 2 thunder, 3 fire.
Okay.
Second attack. $21.
It hits.
19 slashing, 3 thunder, 4 fire.
Okay.
I'll pump a Fury at the
He's
small
look-
for what, 3 more damage?
He's looking real bad.
That's my turn.
Gonna use another action. Yeah, it's gonna attack Patra again. Seeing she's weaker. 19.
Uh-oh.
15.
I don't like this guy.
You will suffer, you, whatever you are.
Racist.
Yeah, he's racist.
Jesus.
Never said he wasn't.
Typical strange old white man. Gotta be racist.
Who's actually grey? No. Real, it's your turn.
To Arrogate. He looks at Phoenix. I don't suppose giving him another one of those undeath things would work here. Can't be a double Dampier.
I mean, you can always try.
Please make him into a full vampire and he becomes the big bad.
Real will use an action to get out one of the 2 remaining potions of deaths, but he'll have to wait until next turn to use it.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Yeah. He will use his last legendary action to strike at Hepatra again. He's like, I will take you all down before you take my things. And he just hits. 14. So you're alive on 1 health, Hepatra.
Nice.
Phoenix walks over to Arrogate. Oh. He just like strokes his head on the ground.
Oh.
Arrogate's dead. Gilfit, it's your turn.
I felt like
No.
that was Kieran stepping in then stroking his head instead of Phoenix. My baby.
Gonna go here. I can just about see Petra. There, she's gonna get. She's gonna get a bit of aura. Oh, shit. I guess you can also have. One of these. And then I can have one of these. Oh, no, wrong one. Same thing anyway.
Wait, did you roll Hansel's aggressiveness?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that because he was in the other room.
That's 7, 19.
2, 6. Well, he would have reached 10, so if there's anyone in range, you would have tried to bite.
For Echo.
Yep. Wah! But then, obviously... oh wait, you can actually hit it, can't you?
Yeah.
How do I do this? Bite. It does hit it.
Oh,
3 damage.
It go.
but that's me. I think I can jump on this cupboard.
Hipatra, it's your turn. The guy's looking really weak. Maybe you can finish him off.
Fuck it, why not? I'll give it a go. Use my one of my last 2 key points. I'm gonna do it again. Oh god. Trying to punch this guy is literally the most frustrating thing. 19?
Misses.
Ugh.
Even with flanking, and she'd have advantage as well. 'cause
Oh
of
shit!
ground.
Yeah, we're flanking.
No. Not with that one.
No.
Um
19 would hit with flanking.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're kind of like in ground pound town.
Ground pound town. 7?
It's looking real weak. He's like, no.
Every time
9?
it cuts your mic off, it's so funny.
And that just does it, Hipatra. And you see this you're beating this old man into the ground. He's like, please leave my face. And as he screams out, you beat him into the floor, dead. It's the end of combat.
Fucking executing an old man.
I mean, he did try and he didn't get very lucky on his fucking breath. But, yeah.
A lot of blood damage on that breath.
So, you are left in a very fancy bedroom and a vault as well.
What happens when Rill feeds the potion to your boy Arrogate?
So after a few seconds, Arrogate's body starts to rise up and he almost starts floating off the floor.
Roll initiative.
Until you realise he is actually slightly flying. He looks down at you, Rill, and he's like, what happened? Where's my legs?
Oh, his legs attached to his body.
His legs, he's floating up in the air, but his legs are just dangling down.
Oh, I see. You did it, Arrogate. You ate the bad guy, but his last act was to mess up your legs from inside your stomach.
And looks around. So I can fly now?
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, all things considered, too bad.
Yeah. And as you see this potion, Arrogate's like complexion was very white before because of it, but it's just gone like a complete deathly pale. He's almost got these like all his veins have just turned to like black veins across his face. All his brown fur that was mottled with grey has turned pure white as he's floating up there.
You look abominable, Arrogate.
Yeah, like snowman.
Yeah. Rill smiles and just slumps back on the bed, just sits there like, ugh, God.
Well, thank you for reclaiming my tower for me.
Yep, that's definitely what we did.
And you see Venix, he jumps into the bed and he's like, feels good to be Archmagister. He like splays back.
Yeah, Rill ignores him. Just lying back, closes his eyes, thinks of simpler times.
Goofy's gonna go up to the guy and get the dragon stuff. She's gets a parcel bag, opens it. She's, I'm not sure this is gonna fit in here.
Yeah, so Gylfi, like, you pry the dragon skull off him with its enamelled in jewels and gold.
Mm.
And you think from what everyone said, this is probably what was in the package. But he does have these two fancy Draken weapons with him as well. One of them is a Dragon Wing longbow, and the other one is a Dragon Wrath longsword. You can just add those in your notes, as I imagine Gylfi probably isn't going to use them.
No, she won't use them. But if they're from the dragon, then she's probably think the Aryan will want them anyway.
Yeah, and you can see this guy's face is completely withered. Like he seemed insane from when you interacted with him, but it's a miracle he's still alive, basically.
Yeah. I think these are what I was been looking for, everyone. I guess we can go.
Will holds up a little thumb up from the bed, still lying back. As long as you're sure you got everything.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's no other artifacts I've seen so far that are quite so Aryanish.
Yeah, as you look around this room, Gylfi, there would be quite a plethora of interesting artifacts.
Look for some more Aryan ones then.
Do an investigation check. Okay. Gylfi, there's a few things that stand out to you. Oh, the first one that you would definitely notice as an Aryan artifact is this very large golden and like hued orange feather, which when you touch it, it feels magical.
Would you know? Would you have seen one before? Know what it does? If it does anything?
You can do a history check to see where you might know where it's from, and you can do an Arcana check if you want to work out what it does.
Yeah.
You don't know where it's from, Gylfi, but as you touch it to your hand, you realise that you almost feel far more nimble when you touch it.
Okay.
And if Gylfi is attuned to this item, she gets an 80-foot flying speed.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm attuned to it.
Not yet. You haven't wished it. I'll just make a note of that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what any of the other things are, but one of them looks like a crown. There's a staff in there that looks pretty great. There's an orb as well.
Can I try and identify things? I assume everyone else is looking around as well.
Yeah. We'll go from the first one, which is the crown, so you can do an Arcana check.
Yeah.
It looks dwarven, and it's definitely magical, but you don't know what it does.
Okay.
There's another one, which is a staff. It looks like it's made out of coral from under the sea or the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Do an Arcana check on that one if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to work out, but you know it's a magical staff, and it looks like it's from the merfolk.
Yeah, if it's from the merfolk though, she'd probably show it to Patra. You recognise this one, Patra? It's magical. No.
Do a history check, Cleopatra, because you're in that circle.
Sorry, that was the real mish trying to get the History check, sorry. 22.
Yeah, Hepatria definitely know what this staff is. This staff is wielded by the first high priestess of the Thalassic Conclave. It was lost soon after the Sundering, so it's before the gods manifested. But with that high history check,
Yeah.
I'll post. It's called Litoria's Hand, and I'll post what it does. You know,
Okay.
as a merfolk, you can attune to it.
Okay. You'd say, oh my god, I can't believe it. It's Litoria's hand. Coris told me about this so many times, and we didn't think it was lost, and it was here this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So you can cast Create Destroy Water, Water Wall, and Watery Sphere. And it's got
Jesus.
10 charges. Yeah,
Bring it on.
Yeah. Oh shit! Don't look at that last bit. Oh no! If Real would like to try and work out what the next item is.
Yeah. Absolutely. What am I doing?
What's
Uh,
in the box?
The history for that one.
Oh, not bad at that. Not great either. 11.
I mean, so this blade, it's firing even when it's in the box. But it's not saying light to anything.
Yeah, he'd pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
hold it.
Yeah, and as you touch this, Real, your inner Azar voice speaks to you.
Whoa.
This is the legendary sword of the Eternal Firebrand. It was assumed to be still with him when he had travelled to a wound of the world, which obviously it wasn't because he left it here. When attuned to this blade, it may be ignited at will, and when ignited, it deals an extra 2d6 fire damage. And Azar would have seen Firebrand using this in his offhand to cut down many dwarven people on this crusade, and that would be like a flash in your memory of that.
Yeah, Will would hold his head. See, has this flash of insight, and then he'd look down at the sword and just think, did he leave it here or was it taken from him?
You did hear the Archmagister talking about him.
Yeah, indeed. And you'd look at the body of the Magister.
To see this robe splayed open with nothing underneath. No.
A life well lived. Yeah, Will would be deep in thought, for sure.
There were two more artifacts. No, there was one more artifact, which is an orb.
Oh yeah. I want to do it. I'm gonna do it.
Guidance.
Arcana.
Yeah,
it's
Arcana's good.
guidance, but yeah. I'll do it with guidance, since I keep failing.
So, yeah, Gylfi. You haven't heard many tales of the Imperium, but you think this may be the Orb of Divinum? It was assumed to be in the Tarnished Citadel, which is a long way from here. But if you attune to this orb, you can cast Scrying at 5th level, and the target has disadvantage on the save.
Oh shit. Really good. Would she have seen these sort of orbs before? Maybe
No,
in the higher
it's
parts
completely
of the area?
unique. It's like one of if you think if Gylfi knew anything about the Imperium, this one orb's magical artifact would have stuck in her memory because it's I can watch anyone. Not that Gylfi's that much of a creeper, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Mm. There's lots of really powerful items in here, as you'd expect, I suppose, from artifacts. Was your people looking for your one, Hibatra? That one? Or not? Not really.
He's unmuted.
I'm sorry, I don't. Would she know?
It was just something that was assumed to be a legend.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't even think it was real anymore. It had been so long since someone had last seen it.
Oh wow.
I think it's been in that crazy old guy's cellar the whole time.
Well, when you take it back, then they'll be
I-
quite impressed, probably.
I imagine they will. If you guys are okay with that, I will definitely take it back to the Thalassic Conclave.
Yeah. That's underwater, right? I don't think I can calm.
Yes, I mean, I don't know if I'll be going back there permanently, but if I do, you are more than welcome to come and visit me.
I would. Mm, I
Or I
can.
can come and see you.
That'd be better. Yeah.
Yeah. As well, Gilfie, when you searched this guy's corpse, you would have found 2 keys.
Oh, yep. For the vaults.
But only 2.
Mm.
There's a locked door over this side.
Okay.
Real at the moment is sitting, looking at the sword and semi-subconsciously flickering out each of these echoes in turn. Just kind of sitting with the knowledge of his past lives and such.
Yeah. Venix would be looking on very curiously if you were doing that.
Yeah, he is.
Gilfie just walks out to 4 reels sitting in a circle. Did I miss something?
The sword gave me a flash of insight to one of Azar's experiences. I don't know. Kind of hitting home, I guess. Not sure what my responsibility to these people, my people, is, but feels like there's something there.
Well, I'm sure we can try and figure it out together.
Yeah. Smile
Right.
and turn towards her and dismiss the echoes.
You know, that's if you wanted any help, of course. You're capable.
Yeah, we're all a lot more capable than I ever would have guessed.
Arrogate floats over. And he's like, I think we can take anything. As his pure white fur floating in the air.
Since you could. Okay.
He looks at Rill.
Tie a rope around you, Arrogate. Make sure you don't float away.
His voice seems to be more booming as he says this, but he's like, I feel like I'm going to call myself the White Rapture. And you see him stretch out his arms in the air as he's floating. You can see his eyes have gone completely bloodshot red.
What have I done?
Gilfie goes and hands was it dwarven helmet?
It's a dwarven crown, actually.
Oh, crown. She doesn't like dwarves, so she says this. Well, you can at least use their stuff.
Sure thing.
I doubt they'll like that.
Greta, do a history check just to see if you recognise it, because it's possible, but it has to be high.
Doubt I'm going to roll high with my -1 in history. But we'll see.
Guidance.
Plus guidance. 16.
Greta, all you can tell is that it's a crown of a dwarven king, and it does look magical.
She just puts it on like, guess I'm your queen now, bitches.
It looks better on you than the king, anyway.
Damn straight.
Hmm.
What does it do?
You haven't tuned to it yet.
Oh. I'm gonna
Rill
tune
wants
to it
to
next chance I get.
Rill wants to wrap a rope around Arroget's waist.
Pull him along like a balloon.
Yeah. Before he was the White Rapture, he was the Alabaster Balloon. Or Alaballoon for short.
I think he'd take well to that. He's like, yes, pull me, my minion.
Start of a beautiful relationship.
Before we open any doors, I have more aura. Here you go. It's rolling.
Just going to toilet quickly.
Well, Rill definitely doesn't need it, so share it out amongst
Mm.
yourselves.
Yeah, it's more for Hipatra. A little bit me.
How much health does Hipatra need to get to full?
I need 10. So, take 11.
Hipatra needs 29. You can get 29 exactly with 12, 6, 11. No, from Gilfie's healing. She's got the Aura Vitality spell.
And then I suppose Greta can have, and then Arrogate can have whatever's left.
How
Part of me is
much?
tempted to kill Arrogate again and feed him another potion and see what happens.
Just do it at this point.
Become
Turns
the
invisible.
Lich.
Yeah, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen? How much HP have I got to spend? What's been used already?
I used an 11 on me. I think your battery used a 12, 6, and an 11.
Correct.
So I'll use a 8.
Just an 8.
Yeah, that'll do.
So then you got 12, 16.
All right, I'm back.
What do you mean, poor Arrogate? I'm accelerating his development to become a Lich.
Sorry, does that mean I'm on full again now?
Yeah, you are. You're
Thank you.
29 exactly.
And Arrogate gets 16, I think.
Yeah, you see it. You see your. How does Gilfie imagine her healing energy?
Kind of like the sort of atmosphere of like cosmos getting in you.
So you see this like light blue flickering energy approach Arrogate, and it gets to him. It turns black and just sucked in. He's like, ooh.
Oh, I've never seen it do that before. Real, I found these 2 keys on the body.
Okay. Well, there's 2 chests I can see here. Maybe they're for them. Do they look like chest keys or door keys?
They look more like door keys.
Okay. Rill will hold his hand out. Can I have them? I'm gonna go see what happens with the door over here.
Yeah.
He'll go over and investigate it for any traps.
Yep. Are you sort of trying to compare the keys to a lock as well?
Yeah. 25.
And with that Rill, you're like, I'll do the smart thing, and then you try both keys in this unlocked door,
Oh.
and you're like, oh, okay. And then you go to this door, and you're like, yep, it's this one.
Well, this one here.
You're like this other key that doesn't fit this door. The other one fits this door, maybe.
Oh, yeah. And there's no traps.
There are traps,
Oh, shit.
but
the
you
key
would.
bypass the traps.
But with your very good investigation, you'd realise this one has a trap on it too.
And the key bypasses it.
Yeah.
Yep, he'll use the key then.
Okay. Here you go, it's unlocked.
Ooh.
So, you see a well-stocked and highly ordered alchemy lab, and it's lit by the dull glow of ever-burning torches. Many of these materials would have considerable value in the Pearl. However, there are two items in particular that you can just see almost instantly without doing an investigation check. There's a table dominated by appears to be an elaborate and active chemistry set. And there's different coloured fluids flowing through the glass tubes, and they churn in retorts and bubble in schlenk flasks. And there's also another one where you can see this tiny humanoid which is pacing back and forth under a bell jar, and it's occasionally banging on the glass.
Well, I'm going
Especially
straight
as it
to the
sees you.
humanoid.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Have you taken the bell jar off?
Not yet. He says
There's
hi,
this-
yeah, hi there
it's
to the
just
figure
like-
in the bell jar.
It's like,
Why am I
And-
picturing him saying hi there like old Greg? Hi there.
Hi there.
and this person looks particularly strange. They look fleshy, like a shaved bugbear. Well, not like. I'm trying to think what Real would think of them as. It looks like someone who's been completely shaved. There's no elemental essence to them. They've just got this rosy flesh.
They nude.
No, they're wearing light blue robes, which
Oh,
you can do an intelligence check. Or if Tom remembers, then you can just assume what they are.
If Tom remembers is a dangerous statement. 11.
Yeah, you remember Gilfie in the market looking at these apprentice magister's robes, and you also remember seeing a lot of them downstairs as well.
Oh. Yeah, he'd lift up the bell jar.
Yeah, he left out the bell jar, and this little figure is just like, and she just starts like she drops to the floor and just starts crying.
Oh. Brill would stand there with his bugbear vampire balloon, and his tiny magister shapen person. Just have another one of those existential crisis moments.
And Erica is like, looks tasty.
Would simplify matters, but no, I don't think so. What's your name?
And in very sort of archaic common, she'd be like, "My name's Aeneas Similis." Keeps taking the jar off.
You're welcome. Looked like a shitty way to be living. We killed the Archmagister. I hope that's okay.
He trapped me in here for playing a prank on him. 500
that-
years.
A
Okay.
really good idea.
Have you always been this tiny?
Oh, jar.
It's cute that your mic is struggling with the high pitch. What did she say?
She said, "I don't know how long I've been in this jar."
Mm.
That's an amazing picture. Well,
Yeah.
you're free to go now, I guess. Do you need a hand out of here?
Yes.
He holds
Please.
out a hand for her to walk onto.
She like climbs into your hand and then walks up onto your shoulder. And she's like, "What are you?"
How am I the one getting that question right now? My name's Rill. I'm Fire Ganassi. I used to be Azar the Sunspear, I think.
Sophia Ganassi.
And Ardene?
She can't. What? I noticed that Archmagic has changed a very long time ago. But I don't know.
Alright, well, don't worry too much about it for now. Maybe rest. And he walks back out of the room to everyone else with his bugbear balloon and his tiny person on his shoulder. He's just like, "Day's been a weird day."
Once
Yeah.
Momo comes back, you'll have the full set.
She's
Oh
kind of
god, Momo's gonna eat her. No!
looking at everyone, and she's like, I thought I know one of you's a goblin and the other's bugbear and an owlin, but I didn't know owlin wore clothes.
We do.
This is Ania, everyone. She was stuck in a bell jar. Apparently she pranked the Archmagister and he didn't take too kind.
I'm a student of the Magister's Academy.
I've heard of shrink spells, but they don't normally last that long.
Just been feeding me little bits for however long. I don't know what's been going on. And I've been in that jar so long.
Well, you're out of it now. That's good.
I don't even know. Is Castrum still? Is it still a place?
Ugh.
Do a
It is,
history
right?
check. Do a history check.
Yeah.
You know what Castrum is. Gilfie, you know Castrum was an old imperial. It was a human settlement that was like the capital of the region to the northeast, but it is a complete ruin now, and no one really ever goes there.
Yeah, I mean, you should probably tell her. Like, it's kind of sad.
So
Hmm?
I'm looking around, like for everyone else's perspective, this person is a human, but
Yeah.
none of you have actually seen a human
Oh, okay.
because they
Yeah, of
basically
course.
don't exist because they got turned into elemental people like Real.
Oh, yeah.
Some kind of fleshamental.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what you might see her as.
Well, you got nothing to worry about now. You've got a whole world to take in, I guess. We're gonna leave here soon, I think.
Oh, thank the Venom. Thank the Venom.
The Archmagister mentioned Zosimus?
Zosimus. She was
Yeah.
she's the one who guards the portals at the top. The top of the tower.
Do you know where the portals go to?
Everywhere.
Oh.
Hang on, let me have a look. They go to. There's one that goes to the glass tower, the library. There's one that goes to the Aryan, where the dead dragons sleep.
Oh,
There's the one that goes to Lux Dryadum, the main academy of the Magisters. And there's also one that goes to the Tarnished Citadel, the greatest place in the whole of the Vale.
Lord. Well, you got yourself a
Mm.
ticket home, Gilfie.
yeah, that would be a lot quicker. Not gonna lie. But go straight to the dragons. Is that usually? It's not really a safe place, is it? You.
Well, it's the Aryan, because the Aryan used to be where the Draken all like
I thought
were
that there was
dead.
like a next door mountain with the dragons as well.
So basically, the Aryan is where all the Drakens were, but then the
I see.
Owlin, when they became more, with it, they basically occupied it.
No, what's one I
So
think of then? What's on the neighbouring mountain?
I have no idea. I didn't know there was one.
Alright. I'm getting confused now then.
Yeah, maybe it's East Van getting confused.
East.
It could be, yeah.
But there are other mountains where the Draken, like, they have their old settlements where everyone was dead, but the Aryan was the main one. But the Aarakocra took it over basically when they sort of wanted to get to the highest point.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's just I'm just thinking of the other mountain then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, if anyone wants to come to the Aryan, I mean, I'm sure it'll be really weird for all of you, but
My only wonder would be we could teleport there, but then we get back or where we want next.
Real still has that book, basically.
yeah. Do the Aryan, because obviously not everyone can fly.
Yeah.
How do they get around? Do
You
they
could
go
walk
anywhere?
you could walk up it, but it'd obviously take a hell of a lot longer because it's really
Yeah.
big.
I'm thinking more how do they leave? Do they go anywhere?
There's a way out. There's
Mm.
like a normal trading bit where people sail boats in, but
Okay.
when she says like the Aryan, it could be. And if you ask more about that to her, she'd be like, I don't really know. They just said it goes to the Aryan.
Okay. I mean, we have ports and trade, and you can get a boat, but it's quicker to fly.
Well, I guess we got to have a proper talk and think about options.
Yeah. Should we go open the other door first?
This one.
Whichever one the other key was to. Yeah.
That was
Well,
the door that was had already been opened. I think, right?
yeah,
It was the one he
because
ran
Real
into.
tried it out.
I thought it's been blanking out. What?
So there
You
are
know,
two.
in the fight, when the Archmagister ran over to here and was like, "All my things," and opened the door.
Okay.
It was
Right,
to that
right.
door.
What's this door then?
Which door?
This door up here.
Well, you don't know.
The same vault.
Can really use the same key to open it.
Yeah, and if you use the same key that you used to get in, it would
Yep.
open up into a library.
Oh yeah.
But
Hmm.
Venix was sitting in before.
Yeah.
Cool.
Zoom in.
Coming in.
Running around the library.
I'm assuming the Annie is just basically sitting on Real shoulder.
Yep. He's got his bugbear balloon and his flesh mental parrot. He's gonna start up a circus when he goes back to the bakery.
Make a lot of money.
Yeah. It is 11 o'clock.
We can end then. That's a good
That's
point
right.
to end, I think.
And
Yeah.
we can have a think about
Yeah.
what our character's going to want to do next time.
Mhm.
Yeah.